Arcade House in Fishers, Indiana, where Make48 teams have been given a challenge. In just 48 hours, they must build a physical prototype, a sales sheet, and a 1-minute marketing video, and then pitch to a panel of judges. They're not alone in this. Teams have access to a makerspace and are talented tool techs who can build almost anything, as well as patent attorneys, focus groups, marketing experts, and more. Make48 is where everyone competes on a level playing field. They've gathered here at the Fishers Maker Playground for this event. The Maker Playground is a makerspace with a robust educational partnership with their local school districts and a safe place for tinkering and innovation for the community. The teams have come from local Indiana FFA chapters from around Indiana. Let's go meet the teams. Welcome everybody to Make48. My name is Amy Gray. I will be your MC for the weekend. We are excited to have you here at the Fishers Maker Playground.
You know, on behalf of Maker Playground, on behalf of the city of Fishers, just super jazzed to be doing this again.
Maker Playground, it's a municipally run makerspace here in the city of Fishers in the Hub and Spoke building. We are membership based. We've got a really robust educational partnership with our local school district, and we teach, hundreds of people a year how to operate the variety of equipment that we have here and then provide that access.
Let's welcome up Amanda Mullins from Indiana FFA.
On behalf of Indiana FFA, I'm so excited to be here to watch you guys.
FFA is a youth agriculture education organization that spreads across the United States, Puerto Rico, and Virgin Islands.
I'm heavily involved in our FFA chapter as our president and our district officer as our district sentinel.
Before I joined FFA, I didn't have a set friend group, so when I joined FFA, it kind of helped me find other people who are interested in stuff that I was interested in.
Something that has shaped my life is FFA. Going into freshman year, I wasn't exactly the person to just go up to someone and talk to them or speak in front of crowds, but throughout my last 4 years, I've been able to create skills to do those things, and it's been a great learning experience.
I like to do plant genetics, and I have won 5th in the nation for my agri-science project.
FFA have definitely pushed me to who I've become. I've learned many things, including leadership. It have helped me with my entire life.
I'm so excited to watch you guys, support you, and see what we can take from this and maybe even develop something of our own in the future in this realm of ag innovations.
Next, I would like to give a big round of applause to our tool techs. They will build anything that you guys come up with.
I became involved with Make48 because Onshape is a education partner with a lot of the schools that are competing in these events. A lot of the students are using Onshape.
I'm operating the ShopBot CNC machine. We make and build and invent CNC machines at the same time trying to provide educational opportunities and creation opportunities for the rest of the world.
I competed in season 5. A crowning moment for me was I watched the laser and I was like, this thing is magic. And it's really cool, now that I've learned these things, to come back and hopefully have that same experience for someone else.
My husband and I and our son and our friend competed 2 years ago and won 1st place. Since then, we've just really wanted to be a part of everything that they have going on.
So I want to bring up a special lady who has helped craft the challenge from Corteva, Miss Heidi Spahn.
Corteva AgriScience is an agricultural company. We are a global company.
Corteva's purpose is to enrich the lives of those who produce and those who consume, ensuring progress for generations to come.
You as young people are our next leaders in this industry, and we need your support and your voices to help everyone understand the value that farmers and producers are bringing to our table.
That's a face only a mother could love.
Agricultural education was your challenge category clue. The goal, to teach everyday people about agriculture, showing the positive impact agriculture can have on communities and careers.
Agriculture education is very important for everyone, no matter what they may do in life, as we're all consumers of agricultural products every day. Without agriculture, we would not have food, clothing, or shelter.
Often there is a limited view of the agricultural industry. Many people hear agriculture and focus on simply production or farming and not on the varied roles and responsibilities of the greater industry. You must share the positive impact by building an interactive display to educate others.
This challenge is a real-world example of what kids might get when they get into a career, in this case in the agricultural industry.
All right, now that we have heard the challenge, let the countdown begin.
3, 2, 1, make 48!
I think our idea, it came pretty fast.
Yes, so we're going with plant
We're
science.
gonna go plant science. We make like a planter box, interactive design, which would show how water moves through soil.
Our ideation process had a lot of building off of each other, so one person would suggest an idea and then somebody else would add on to that.
I like the maze personally. I think that was a really good
I think
idea.
that's kind of like the one that we are, just
And
like
we
the
could
most
take
effective
different
one, I
routes.
feel like.
But
Yeah.
if we had a backup, just because.
It would be byproducts.
I think it should be, animal byproducts.
Yeah.
All right, guys, Hamilton Heights FFA. Tell me where you're at.
Well, we have our design done. We're just figuring out how we want to go about getting all of our steps done.
What was your inspiration?
So we went with a vertical farming education, just to educate people about new sustainable farming methods that increase how much you can make in a little amount of space.
Okay.
We listed out all the ideas, then we had a few that really stuck.
Of these 4 categories, which one do you all feel like we should focus on?
It's definitely plant science, just since we've been focusing on that for quite some time in class. So we probably have a leg up in that category in particular.
From there, we got a really good idea. We're so dead set with it and decided to scrap it and restart.
Once we scrapped our first idea, that's when we went to our second idea, and that's when everything clicked, and the process just became so much easier.
So we originally wanted to make it like a game. Once we scratched that idea, we came across an idea that we thought was pretty solid, and we ended up sticking with it.
If you made a habitat, you had trees and you had little animals glued down or hidden, like paper animals, and then you'd have to make sure whatever was needed for that animal was there. So if you had a bird, you had to make sure there was a tree for them to nest in.
I am very passionate about FFA and agriculture education. In fact, it's the career path that I have chosen to pursue. I have created a social media page dedicated to this because I believe that not enough people know what agriculture truly is. And I also believe that it's contests like even Make48 that push us to be more into agriculture engineering and more of what you wouldn't think of as traditional agriculture that help us grow as leaders, especially in the agriculture industry. Because if we can't share the truth about agriculture, then no one can.
What if they had to create them, put them in a place, and then they got the light to come on when they were all in the right place?
Oh, that's smart.
Hamilton Heights has an ambitious plan. They want to have incorporated vertical farming into the project. And what I'm nervous about with that is how do we execute on that on a prototype, but also if there's actually plumbing through this project, how do we transport it to a new site without making a huge mess?
So now that we've got our ideas out, we're ready to talk to the lawyers.
The meeting with the patent attorney went smoothly.
We only ran into one slight issue, which is if anyone has coined our term, seed yourself in ag.
Probably the easiest thing to do is Google and see if anyone comes up using that phrase. It may not be trademarked, but if they're using it and they were using it before you, they still have some rights and they could still create issues.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, no problem. Good luck.
All right, Fishers High School, how you going?
It's going good.
Yeah. Do you guys have an idea?
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have the basic idea down.
All right. So tell me a little bit about your concept.
It's teaching people just about sustainability, about lawn care, and kind of tapping into how like everybody thinks of agriculture as farmers, and kind of showing how like what you do to your lawn is just a smaller version of what farmers do.
Okay.
But it's in your house every day.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, good luck with the focus group. I'm sure you'll get some good feedback.
The focus group, we went in on an extreme high and we left on an extreme low.
The kids will start over here. We'll get a biodegradable bowl, get some planting soil, some seeds, and then we'll dump some nutrients into it. And then they'll come over here and use the water that we've run through. And then we'll recycle and we'll use that water to water their plants.
So is this able to function without someone there with it at all times?
It's like we could walk away from it and just kind of stand back and just watch them and let the kids do all the.
But you still have to have adult supervision.
It would be preferred just to make sure.
Because I think the criteria, if mistake me if I'm wrong, has to be used without supervision.
Okay.
We had missed a key part of the rules.
We spent a lot of time changing our idea and getting it to fit the requirements that it needed to be.
The presentations I had with the focus group were very helpful, but they were also kind of harmful.
You've told me a lot of things that might happen and that they need to understand to use it. If you're not there, how are they going to understand that this is like a risk, and this is like this, and this is like this?
So one thing, we're gonna deliberately select paint for our different obstacles.
They were pretty critical of our designs and had some concerns that we were able to take back and address those concerns and improve our product and come up with kind of new ideas.
Clever Connorville. This looks like a very deep conversation. Why don't you tell me what's going on? I hear there might be a little hiccup with some electricity issues.
No, we're just trying to figure out materials right now for a little shadow box we're trying to put on.
Okay.
So the electrical problems are coming later.
Okay. All right, and what are you teaching
Well,
them?
they're trying to be real thoughtful of how heavy it all is. We were really just now discussing how are we going to put this shadow box on there. What material would be best to engrave or to cut out the lettering that they want to, so we can light that up.
Okay.
I tell all of them, simplicity is key. You got to be able to stand in front of the judges and explain comfortably in just a few minutes what exactly your process is.
The Agriculture Education Challenge is underway. The tool techs and mentors have been giving them great advice on what they're going to need at the hardware store run tomorrow. Keep watching right here on Make48.
When we had our focus discussion, they had some really good questions that maybe we hadn't thought about before the focus meeting.
How are you going to draw my attention if I'm walking through ACE and I had to see gears? Why am I going
you'll
to come
see
to it?
this in the lawn care section.
Okay.
We're going to use colors and shiny knobs to draw the attention of the consumers.
It'll just kind of be at the end of the aisle or the front of the aisle. Yeah, on an end cap, that's what I was looking for.
A thing that kind of shaped me into who I am was really working in my garage with my dad. I overcame a lot of adversity when I started my own lawn care company. A lot of things would break and I wouldn't be able to meet my clients' needs as effectively as I should have. And I kind of solved that by really relying on a lot of other people to kind of teach me how to fix things and just a lot of hard work.
Do we add pictures to it on these?
There is
on the slides?
There is merit to having like a wall of pictures, because they'll see that and like, I want my picture up there, so then they'll do it.
So then we have to get B-roll of the pictures. It's a lot of work.
So we could do that, or having a screen on the exterior that shows the pictures the picture that was taken.
Our idea is an educational mirror. On this little panel will be not only the mirrors, but it'll also be your future employer with this job, how much money it makes.
We've talked about a couple different ways to maybe
cutting mirrors was seen as a last resort, but also potentially working with, wood on the mirrors, seeing if we can fold the mirrors down or if we want to fold them in, just the ways to make these prototypes take up less space.
On this mirror is also a QR code to our website, which features a collage. So you would take a photo, if you want to, with our decorated mirror. For entomology, it would be bugs and vines all over it. We're gonna hot glue or super glue those to it. And then you could take a picture and upload it to the collage.
The teens have been imagining ideas to the Agricultural Education Challenge. Some went with their first ideas, while others locked in on their second or third. They've all met with the patent attorneys and have been given the all clear. Now we're gearing up for the hardware store run tomorrow. Stay tuned to see how it comes out.
Chop, chop, chop.
The hardware run was a hot mess at the beginning.
Our hardware run was pretty chaotic. I ended up buying a dog toy because we needed to use the stuffing for our project.
We had no idea what we were really walking into the store for.
We gotta get two 2-inch by 1-inch hinges, 12 nuts and 12 washers.
Okay, got that.
Rollers and paintbrush.
We're just having a little trouble getting our pipe to fit onto our pump.
Here, so we need to find something so like when we're not using it, we can fold it backwards.
Some teams looking for flowers, and some teams looking for soil and fertilizer, and I fear it might get a little stinky later this evening.
I think that's all we needed.
All right, well then we can check out.
The teams are coming in hot on day 2 of Make48. Their ideas have all been cleared by the patent attorneys and the focus groups, and now they're set to build. Let's go catch up with them now and see how it's going.
I've been talking to Matt a lot. He's been helping me with the CAD design and figuring out what I wanted to do for my design.
Today, a lot of what I did was make sure I get those designs communicated to the other tool techs for the CNC and 3D printing so that we can actually get the prototypes built.
I have been really talking to the mentors at the laser cutter and just really understanding how that works and getting our ideas down into that format.
Here's your lettuce. That
Yep.
should fit. Next thing for your salad is your cucumbers.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
we need 8 of those.
All right, I can do that.
What I've been doing with Connorville is they have a display that involves electronics. So we've been trying to figure that out and then figure out how to make it user-friendly.
And you guys want to say something really cool? You guys haven't seen it yet, have you?
Wait, I want to help you do it.
All right, this is fun. So you guys touch this here. I'm gonna take this between this pole and that pole at the same time.
I'm not gonna get shocked, am I?
No. Green, red.
That's
Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
So we'll use the green and the red.
Yeah.
Now, so we'll have not and red, needed and green.
The tool techs and mentors have been just kind of checking in with us regularly. And as we're kind of walking them through our process, if they have an idea of a way to improve it, they pitch that to us. And also as we come up with problems, they always have a solution for us.
My suggestion is that you cover the side,
okay.
Right? So when you walk up to it, you don't see the framework.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter from the back, it can be open. Right?
Yeah.
So all you need to do is take a piece, lay it down, trace it out, okay, and we'll just cut it for you.
We're still working on the base for the beige team. It's been a real trouble. There's been a little bit of indecisiveness on how they want it arranged. That indecisiveness can sometimes make it challenging for us as tool techs because, it's quite difficult to come up with a plan when the plan keeps changing. But as I told them, great ideas, they have some great struggles.
So it's about 10 inches. Would that be okay? It won't go to the very edge of the mirror then. I don't like that either. How do we turn this baby around? Like that?
That's not gonna look good.
Around it?
That's not gonna
What
look
if
good.
we did it like this?
Is that, I don't think that'll fit.
Day 2 is always crunch time at Make48. The machines in the makerspace are running full time. Let's get back to the competition.
There's a pollinator theme for one of the projects. They have a fun maze project where we had to cut a bunch of individual channels.
We've been talking with the DeBruce Foundation as we've been sitting there kind of working, and they've been just kind of shadowing us and just looking over our shoulder. They've noticed and pointed out like how we're using our Agilities.
So like Eliza painted this, and it's like a mango, and basically like it'll like go in like this.
And so like when you open it, you can like feel the mango. See, like,
yeah,
the
and then you
3D
can
aspect
see
of it.
like the facts.
That's fantastic. So you've got your flowers, you've got your fruits, you've got all the things.
I'm very outgoing and I love to just meet new people. I enjoy communicating and digital storytelling. Something that has shaped my life has been serving as the president of our HSC FFA chapter. Being able to understand what it's like to be a leader and just help me to become more confident in myself.
The Agilities by the DeBruce Foundation, it's a tool that you can use to help figure out your strengths and your interests. And so there's a lot of jobs out there. And some of those jobs you might like, and some of those jobs you might be good at. And what the Agilities are a set of 10 categories that are in every single job.
I think our team's biggest struggle in this contest is going to be honestly how similar we are. We do come from diverse backgrounds, but looking at our Agilities, 3 of us had the same two Agilities.
The way that the Agilities are really going to help a team in an environment like this is they're going to be able to look at their Agilities together and figure out where their strengths and interests are. And if they know as a team that they have a weakness because they don't have any of that in their top 3 for their 4 individuals, that gives them a place where they can go, okay, we're going to need help here.
Dutch has been incredibly helpful when it comes to dealing with wood. So he's helped us fabricate unseen elements to our project just to create stability. So we appreciate his knowledge and kind of shortcuts that he's been able to give us.
So how's it looking here, guys?
Good. We're starting to get everything like put together, labels on, final touches.
I know you guys were working with the pump. Have we run into any challenges there? I mean, I know it's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, we've run into a few challenges, but I think getting the water to go through, but I think we've got it about figured out by now.
So how are we feeling about our media, our sales pitch, our video?
Earlier, we were waiting. We kind of took a little brain break. We went outside and we got what we think should be most of our video done. We're going to have to probably, I think, finish it up once we get our board done. She's been working on our sales sheet, and by the sounds of it, it's going pretty well.
It's great to see you guys utilizing all the strengths you have here. I mean, I know making and marketing sometimes can go together, but sometimes they can be a bit of a challenge for people.
Yep.
So it's absolutely great to see you work, and great luck to you. Sweet.
Thank you.
Ooh, here comes the board.
Our voices guy here. So.
Clean up the edges.
Woo!
I haven't had time to cut the new end pieces yet.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's next on my list. So
Okay.
basically what I'm going to do, I figured I'd bring them out here for you guys so that you can actually
Yeah.
hang on things if you needed to paint
Would
them.
we be able to start Yeah, painting 'cause we them can now? paint them, right?
Sanded.
The edges are.
The edges are
Okay.
sanded?
So
Should
we
we
can
go
sand
over?
the board.
Should we go over this with something? Okay.
I can take like 220 to it and just.
Yeah.
The whole little sanding booth
Yep.
over there.
Yep. I won't take my 80 to it, but I can take 220.
Okay. So you guys gonna do that and get this painted while we're gone?
Yep.
Sweet. Oh yeah.
The race is on. Stay tuned.
Our team is currently working on the base of our project because we need a sturdy base in order to make sure that the top of our project doesn't like fall over.
We want to get the plywood board here because we can put the plywood on here now. Did Tyler already stain it?
Yeah, it's already stained. It's drying right now.
All right. How would we put that on there? Just with screws?
I was asking Dutch. He said wood glue first, and then we could screw it in onto the top.
When I was facing adversity was this past year during basketball season. I wasn't playing the greatest, kind of was missing shots, wasn't playing very well. I kind of realized that I needed to do something extra on my own time to kind of get better for my team. And so I started going in the mornings, sometimes staying after school, getting extra shots up, and kind of through that, putting in more work, I was able to overcome my challenges of not playing well. For me, I also own my own seasoning business. That's a nonprofit. And through that, I make my own seasoning and sell it to different consumers. And with that money, we support children throughout various companies, including Compassion International and World Vision, or in need of financial aid.
Some of the best advice that I've gotten from some of the tool techs or mentors is just more of like an overarching knowledge of how to use the tools that they are in charge of.
Here's a little trick on these corners. Where's that little hammer? So if you just bump these corners, you can sometimes get them to close up. See how I just close that gap right up? Yeah.
The yellow team, they're on a good track, but I think that stress might be a factor for some of them. And so just like reminding the teams to just stay calm, relax, and you're gonna get through it, and we're all here to help.
Hey guys, this is looking great. One of my favorite, love this color. But what kind of challenges did you guys run into?
Definitely with the thickness of our walls, it's hard to work with screws and other things like that because it's a little flimsier.
And not having the knowledge that we have to have the woven, like the edges, the puzzle edges, I don't know what to call them.
Yeah,
we didn't know that
would
ahead
have
of time,
definitely
and
been
so that
helpful to know.
completely, that delayed us by about 8 hours.
Yeah, I mean, that is, but you know, I'm glad the tool techs are able to help you out. These finger
Yes.
joints add a lot of stability and they make it look really nice as well. And you know, I think the fact that you have them can really show to the judges that this is a prototype that can be taken to market, because that's a very big part of, you know, how can you quickly snap these together in a real world market.
Right.
So Eddie, I'm working on for our panel, the information that we're gonna have engraved into the panel about the different agriculture careers. So we're looking at description of the career, college and pay, the agilities you'll need, and who will hire you, being Corteva. So then how are you complementing this?
I'm currently creating QR codes to access more in-depth information online.
So once you get your QR codes done, we'll send it over to the machine to get it engraved. Awesome.
I would describe myself as a thinker. I would say I'm a very stereotypical nerd. When I lived in Lafayette, I would often go and hang out in a forest that was nearby my house to escape my responsibilities. One of those days, I decided to go take a swim in the Wabash River, and I'm immediately swept under by the current. Then I spent, I think it was 20-ish minutes, very nearly drowning. That really taught me a lot about, even if things might suck right now, that doesn't mean that it will always be that way, and that maybe running from my responsibilities isn't the best idea.
A lot of people think FFA is just for farmers or that it's outdated, but agriculture has a vast reach and innovation is huge in agriculture today.
When we think about agriculture, it's kind of uncommon to a lot of the population here in the United States, since we only have about 2% of people that actually do farming. And I think that through these projects, they're really able to share the importance of agriculture and why we need it.
For the red team, we've been doing a lot of work on the saws for them. Their product is very physical. We were working on the base and the 45-degree miters we had to use to attach it, and then their pump and how they're going to pump the water to the top, how we need to connect it, what kind of silicone and stuff like that.
We'll cut a 45 from this angle to here, so then we've got a flat surface. That will go all the way down, and then likewise and like forth. We got another 2x4, so.
I was just talking to one of the teams and they let me know that they're not gonna have any of their video ready to edit until tomorrow. They haven't even started shooting their video. So I'm feeling the pressure. I know they're feeling the pressure too.
I storyboarded this morning, just kind of like getting an idea of what I want to do, and then I'm gonna bring my camera tomorrow morning and we'll probably go out there and film.
Me and Jackson are working on putting together all the wood pieces. Shay, our other member, and Mr. Lawrence have been really helpful in getting the storyboard finished.
This is what I wanted to show you. A couple of them, they're kind of foggy. I don't really like how I had to stretch that one out, but a couple of them I think are gonna be fine.
Yeah, like that one's fine.
When we put them on here, I left them rectangular.
Yeah.
So when we put them on here, we can just kind of cut.
Just cut the triangle out.
Exactly, just cut that wedge out.
Hey guys, I was actually working on this project earlier. What happened here looks like we were taking it apart. Seems like some backward progress.
Well, we're not taking it apart. We're actually finishing up. So, guys, you want to show them?
Right now, we're trying to hook up everything to make the lights work that is in this box. So we have LED lights that's inside of it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Nice.
As day 2 wraps up, teams are feeling confident about their work. Stay tuned to watch the final hours fly by.
Last night we were the first team that actually left. I was worried that we weren't going to get it done because my team captain was like, we can't stay late, like sleep is very important. I kind of argued against it because I could have got some of the letters done with the title.
We're all working on something different right now. Mr. Lawrence, he is working on cutting out our pictures. Dean is working to make sure that all of our gears are running smooth. I'm making our informational packet because we messed up on that. And then we're a little bit behind on making our video.
Our main challenge has been the corn cob. It's not rolling super well, so we have to sand it down, make sure it rolls smoothly all the time, and that doesn't get stuck anywhere.
We're feeling tired. We stayed pretty late last night, and then we also got here at 6 a.m. this morning, so right when it opened up. So we're running on minimal sleep.
We have had challenges of the plumbing and getting that to be successful. We've had some big leaks with the water, but we finally got that. All the tubing was correct and got that working.
Last night, we completely finished our prototype. Everything was put together before we left.
We're killing our time right now. Honestly, we're very ahead of schedule. I'm editing our video. We got our mirrors put on and cleaned and decorated with all the bugs.
So right now, we're finishing up our video.
Currently, we are just working on perfecting our pitch and making sure that it's memorized and everyone knows their role and what they're supposed to do.
So in designing the trophy, what we're trying to accomplish is to put all this different specialty equipment that we use and put that on display.
We have a face that's the state of Indiana that mounts onto 2 angled back blocks that will support it and suspend it up in the air.
So I helped set up the base. We got a little concave base, so me and Dutch were helping sand that one down and get it straight.
In the middle there will be an acrylic medallion with the Corteva logo on there, and it'll light up.
Carved into the front of the state of Indiana, we'll have the Makers Playground, the Make48 Corteva logo, and the FFA logo.
All right, everybody, welcome to the 4th regional event of Season 8 of Make48. All right, I would like to welcome in our judges. We have Mrs. Stephanie DeCamp from the Indiana State Fair.
I'm looking for the teams to create a display that is very creative and a very engaging way to educate people about agriculture.
Mrs. Christy Larson from the DeBruce Foundation.
So what I'm looking for in the competition for their Agilities in action is how they have used their strengths and their top agilities to help their teams succeed.
And Mrs. Chandria Seaton, past contestant on Make48.
I am looking for creativity. I'm looking for, can others interact with it at all ages? Does it appeal and excite? Is it accessible for all different populations?
Please give a warm welcome to the Hamilton Heights FFA.
Do you know the Netherlands, Singapore, Justin Timberlakes, and Jackson, Wyoming are all connected?
But how? Vertical farming. Vertical farming is different than traditional farming in many ways. One of those ways is that it uses cubic space instead of square footage. In our model, we have two different examples of vertical farming. This is the commercial side. It uses a specialized water pump at the very top. When you push on the lever, it pumps through the pots. The water will go through the top and drain through the pot into the next pot, and so on and so forth, until it reaches the reservoir at the bottom. And because of the soil, it is able to recycle the water and keep it clean. On our other side of our model, we have an example of residential vertical farming, where we have cucumber and tomato plants. And on our other two sides, we have all of our informational panels. Put away your old flat land and let vertical farming be your victory garden.
Tell me a little bit about where you would use this as an educational display.
Somewhere like this, that when you first walk in, you're allowed to walk around it so it doesn't traffic flow and you're able to have multiple people learning at once.
Next up, we have Abracadabra.
We are FFA members at Purdue Polytechnic High School in Broad Ripple. But first, let's take a selfie.
This is designed for teens ages 13 to 18. It's designed to educate them on agriculture jobs in the industry while providing a selfie outlet.
Our goal is to show all the jobs that have a part in how your food goes from farm to fork.
We need to be able to see ourselves in future careers in order to consider them. Today, we will be showcasing one of 4 panels.
So, an entomologist studies bugs. College and pay for this job. You can go to Purdue and get a degree in insect biology and make around $54,000 a year.
It can sit in a pillar type shape where it's like a box, or you can expand it out into like a zigzag if you have a bit more room but can't fit it all the way, or you could expand it all the way out so that a user can stand in one spot and see everything.
Not only are you learning about careers in agriculture, but you can also take a selfie with it. And you can post it to our collage if you would like.
Where specifically would you want to place it to get your generation, as you said, involved in agriculture?
We really do see this design in children's museums, museums across the country, FFA state officers, and even national officers. You take this with them to provide that career experience. But I also see this at state fairgrounds, at a Corteva booth or an Elanco booth, whatever company it's designed for at that time.
Clever, Connorville.
Naturalistic.
Interactive.
Components.
Habitat. Explorer.
I don't know, guys. That seems like a really long name. What do you think about just shortening it to niche?
No, I agree.
Niche is an interactive and accessible design designed to teach elementary age students about agriculture, specifically how animals' habitats relate to the agriculture industry. To do this, students will have an informational panel that pulls out from the back. They will be able to grab the tweezers and touch those to the metal rods located at each of the environmental aspects. When they touch the rod, a sign will light up stating whether the aspect is needed or not needed. So each aspect centers around one animal. This one is for the pheasant.
We have 2 boards under here where we can pull this out and take the wedge out to separate it to make it easier for transportation.
It can be customizable to whatever rare species that they want. Like it can be a plant because everything in this grows around agricultural land.
The EH Royals.
I got off the bus, I dropped my backpack, and you know the first place I went? I went to the cornfield. My buddy called me. He asked me, "Hey, I thought we were meeting for Mexican tonight. Where are you at?" I told him, "I'm sorry, man, I can't make it. I'm in the cornfield." He hung up on me. But little did he know that the corn I was producing would later become the whole process of his trip to that Mexican restaurant. That corn assists in producing ethanol and gas for his car. It also assists in producing the tortilla chips and taco shell, as well as it fattened up the chicken right in the middle of that taco.
We have a tiny corn kernel to represent the ball, and he's gonna move it down through our maze system. Now it starts at the planting, ends with harvesting, and then goes into our three main categories: the animal feed, ethanol or gas stations, and then human consumption as well. We designed this prototype to be used in the classroom, at county fairs, or any other place like a booth or anything like that.
Your mazes are different. Some have 2, some have more steps. Is that by design or just that's how it worked out?
Yes, so it's definitely by design. Here on the side, we have a couple of flaps, and these flaps give insight to the food processor, ethanol, and grain elevator. Now, what it says is how many steps it takes for that corn to turn into your finished product. So when it goes to the grain elevator, it takes around 3 steps to get to the feeding bag. Ethanol takes a lot more, 8 or 9, to get to the final gas product.
Let's welcome up Team Mud Flaps.
So how many of you guys have had a plant that you take home and you just can't get it to survive? Our goal is to educate middle school to adult ranges on how to grow a successful plant. What we have here is a CNC Indiana cut frame that shows you the 6 main soil types. We have QR codes that show you what goes in these soil and like what these plants need to live in these type of soils.
So with this model, we're aiming to educate the general public on how water filters through this soil. Got this pump up here. The kids can come up and squeeze that and they'll kind of pump the water down. You can kind of see it draining down in.
We wish in our final prototype for these roots to be 3D printed so that kids can come up and really feel and differentiate each type of root. With these resources, we hope you're able to grow a successful plant. Because after all, we are rooting for you.
HSE FFA.
Bzz, bzz. The sound of warfare awaiting me outside. I hate bees. Butterflies are terrifying. Bats are so scary. I'm sure we've all said one of these things in some way at least once in our lives. But what many people fail to remember is the importance that pollinators play in our environment.
And so our team decided to come up with pollinator pals to help connect young kids and their families to pollination.
Pollinator Pals is an interactive natural resources demonstration that features 4 different types of pollinators. We have Bert the bee, Bailey the bat, Hank the hummingbird, and Bethany the butterfly. Along each path, there's different cubbies that reveal a fact about the produce that relates to each pollinator and has a tactile 3D object.
Pollinator Pals has the opportunity to go in different places in 3 main categories: child services, waiting rooms and hospitals, agribusinesses such as orchards or pumpkin patches.
Which of the 4 were most engaging for you all as you were creating it?
I would say the bats. We learned that bats are like huge pollinators, and in fact, one of our facts is that they pollinate over 30 flowers each night. That's been interesting for us to learn.
Fishers High School FFA.
I run my own lawn care company, and my clients often buy the wrong fertilizer and they apply too much. So our product aims to educate the homeowner in under 45 seconds about sustainable lawn care practices.
So, sustainable lawn care can help educate the people in stores about all the good things about sustainable fertilizer and some of the negative impacts about too much fertilizer, because many people that don't know about fertilizer will go and buy the cheapest in mass quantity, and that can cause a lot of runoff and algae buildup in lakes. Now, we envision this display inside stores at the end caps and just by the fertilizer or in the lawn care section.
We use the gears because it's easy to compare what you need to do to your lawn to have it look nice or to fix what you need to do.
If you need to make updates, what would that process look like?
We could definitely upgrade it by just adding more photos and more information as the time goes on because technology is always upgrading.
All right, it's finally time to take a deep breath and breathe. You did it, you're done. The judges get the awful task to deliberate. So who are your top 3 and why?
So my top 3 are going to be the Pollinator Pals,
the Pollinator Pals,
and the Vertigrow.
The EH Royals.
Rooting for success.
Really enjoyed the group from Fishers.
The Agracadabra.
Also Agracadabra.
That's 4.
I know. I told you, but I didn't list all 7, although I wanted.
So what do you think your deciding factor is going to be to make your decision?
Mine is going to be the most innovative creation as well as the hands-on interactivity.
I'm looking at presentation, solid. Was there teamwork makes the dream work being showcased?
So my deciding factor, it's been about how they use their agilities throughout the 48 hours.
They've all done a really good job of that, so good luck to you.
Thanks. It's going to be a tough decision.
But let's give a big drum roll, please. Let's find out who won. All right, moving on to nationals. The winner of the $2,000 in the custom-made trophy goes to Hamilton Southeast FFA Pollinator Pals.
So
good.
Surprise. Actually, it's just genuinely surprise. Personally, I've never had like a big project that I started from beginning to finish and just worked hard and made it come to
In
life.
a weekend.
Yeah, especially in a weekend. Yeah. So, and the collaboration aspect of it was just amazing. It was this team is just amazing, and so it was really cool to work on that together and work hard and produce something that is actually real.
Our Agricultural Education Challenge here in Fishers is all wrapped up. Congratulations to our winners, HSE FFA. Join us next time for an all-new challenge in an all-new city for an all-new Make48.